So you came by land all the way from El Salvador?
Yeah.
He's still a teenager, but Wilfredo Vasquez has already seen plenty in his life. He was abused and neglected by his parents in El Salvador, and his neighborhood was infested by violent gangs.
Were they trying to force you to join a gang?
Yeah. Like, if you didn't enter, they can kill you.
At the age of 16, Vasquez left for the United States and traveled alone by land through Guatemala and Mexico. The trip by bus took him 2 full weeks. He was caught by immigration authorities in Texas shortly after swimming across the river. He spent 3 months in a detention center.
And then they released you to the custody of your cousin?
Yeah.
Vasquez is now a permanent resident in the United States thanks to a little-known part of immigration law that helps undocumented minors arriving alone in this country.
The federal benefit is special immigrant juvenile status.
Rebecca Salmon is an immigration attorney and the executive director of Access to Law, an organization that helps immigrant children like Vasquez.
Not every kid that applies gets to stay. Not every kid who enters can even apply. You have to be abandoned, abused, neglected. You have to be without your parents. You know, there's some minimum requirements, but then there's also the rigorous process of immigration. So not every kid gets to stay.
Those minors who qualify under this provision of the law and get approval can obtain a green card, which allows them to stay in this country and have legal status in the United States. They can then apply for citizenship after 5 years of living here or when they turn 18, whichever comes first.
Tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors have arrived to the United States this year alone, mainly from Central America. But Salmon says very few can actually qualify for this immigration benefit. Immigrants like Wilfredo Vasquez who can prove they were victims of abuse, abandonment, or neglect.
My dream is to graduate from high school, and I start looking so I can go to college. Yeah.
And what do you want to do in college?
I want to be a doctor.
Quite an improvement for a young man whose goal as a child was merely to stay alive.
And according to a labor leader with the U.S. Border Patrol, he expects as many as 60,000 children will cross the border this year. But immigration attorneys say only 10% of those are eligible to apply under this law, and only a fraction of those can actually have adequate legal representation. So we're not necessarily talking about a free-for-all. It is a very detailed and complicated process.